Hello, family of light. It's Stacy Ma, and I'm sending lots of love to you. Today, I'm going to be talking about some things that are scandalous. Maybe you feel like they might be crazy or absurd or downright blasphemous. I am actually going to suggest something that really pushes our envelope as humanity, and that is that we hold the sacred feminine safe, starting with basic equality. And in 2022 on planet Earth, that is actually a radical idea. It seems obvious to me, but apparently it's not. Now, why would humanity choose to subjugate the female of their species? Well, y'all, please know it's been going on for thousands and thousands of years. So really, currently, there's actually no external villain. But what we can work on is our ability to love and honor and respect and hold ourselves sacred first. So I'm going to talk about Durga and the creation myth and how it's stunning, like absolutely stunning on how similar it is to current times. I'm going to be talking about the divine feminine coming into balance with the divine masculine, and really what Durga represents is feminine strength. She's Mother Earth. She's a representation of everyone's highest self. Gender identity doesn't matter at all. Okay, so in modern society, we're all becoming more aware that there's the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine energies are badly out of balance, or they don't exist at all. Okay. Humanity has taken a masculine driver competition approach to gain recognition, make a living, or advance our careers. So we often forget, we all do this, we often forget how we're feeling, our emotions. We dismiss them. This might be our feminine side, our heart. In a way, we've received a message like, no matter what, don't trust your heart. Well, everything is literally flipping over. And I have news. Women are absolutely sacred. The feminine is absolutely sacred, as well as the masculine. Our bodies are sacred, and all of the wisdom is already inside of you. And that's what Tantric teachings are. We have an opportunity right now to address subjugation and inequality. And it's important for us to recognize societal programming and how this has affected our relationships. We believe that now is a time to openly talk about these things because partnership consciousness is desperately needed now to solve the challenges and rise to the opportunities that we now have. So yoga philosophy and the goddesses I talk about are ancient teachings and tools designed to literally liberate the mind. And I also call it the heart mind. Okay, so in Tantra, the divine masculine, Shiva, represents safe space, peace or consciousness, pure potential. Okay, now people in feminine bodies in this world have never experienced being fully held safe and sacred by the divine masculine. We've never had that. And a lot of it has to do with religion and the church. And they basically demonized it. So today I'm actually going to turn the tables on I call it the immature yang, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the rise of Durga and what that looks like. Okay, so Shakti, on the other hand, is the female aspect of the divine. She's represented by receptivity, compassion, creation, and wisdom. She's not masculine. Okay, so a lot of women have become like Amazon women. We've done a lot to armor ourselves. That's not our true source of power. So Shakti is an active force that awakens us from the inside out. It's in everyone. It's also energy that creates the manifest world and all of the universes. Okay, this is what we talk about in Tantric tradition, which is being proven by science. Okay, so when the divine feminine and the divine masculine are united, they live together in peace and transcendent bliss. In the Tantric tradition, the universe is perceived as being created, penetrated, and sustained by these foundational forces, Shiva and Shakti. They represent an indestructible union of unconditional love, like the river and the riverbed. They simply cannot exist without each other. And we can't have healthy relationships without balance. So when we explore the divine feminine, I'm going to present archetypal goddesses as tools for your transformation, as well as transformation on a societal level. These goddesses can be viewed as symbolizing aspects of human nature, energy, frequencies, or guides as an aspect of your highest self. And this is how I experience them, and billions of other people on the planet do as well. Okay, so Durga teaches us that true power means what it really means. Okay, because let's face it, like, we've got some issues. Our power structure is badly out of balance, and Durga Ma shows that there's strength in vulnerability, compassion, and wisdom. Her creation story is so fun and appropriate today, because we can view the story as feminine energy within everyone, as we are her children. And these stories of yoga wisdom can be called myths, energies, frequencies in the phenomenal world that just give us strength. So I'm going to tell you the story of Durga Ma now. Once upon a time, there were these two demons, and they were devotees of Lord Brahma, who's the god of creation. Now, if you show devotion and you pray, which I recommend you do for all the goddesses, for their help, or you show great love and devotion, eventually you'll be rewarded. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be a demon, and these demons did. They basically worshipped and showed their great devotion, had ceremonies for Brahma for years and years and years and years and eons. So eventually Brahma had to recognize his devotees. And he basically asked, okay, I'm going to give you a blessing. I'm going to give you a boon. What is it that you want? And these demons, which represent greed, lust, and everything that keeps us from our highest self, that's what they represent. They just represent our shadow side, basically, and on a micro and a macro level. So they said they wish that no animal or man could kill them and that they be immortal. Now, what happened here? Okay, they left a big loophole because they never said that no woman could kill them, right? Okay, and this represents Kali, and when we see Ma, this is Kali as an aspect of Durga. She's got heads around her. So it actually represents everything that keeps you from your highest purpose and your highest self, or the illusion, represents the illusion. So they didn't say no woman could kill him. So especially back then, people didn't think that women could do such a thing. They didn't even consider that, okay? So now they went on to be all powerful because nobody could kill them. No man or animal. They started wreaking all kinds of havoc and causing all kinds of shenanigans in the world of men, in the world of demons, in the world of, everything. They basically kicked out the gods out of the temple. They took over. Greed, lust, control, abuse, violence took over. Religions, government, and created systems based on abuse and control. They did whatever they wanted. All kinds of crazy, terrible things. No one could do anything until one of the gods said one day, hey, wait a minute. We didn't say that no woman couldn't kill them. And the light bulb went on in the gods' heads as they're kibitzing about this. So they figured, hey, what are we going to do? So they all got together, worked as a team, which is a good idea. This divide and conquer system is not working very well. And they conjured the divine feminine. They did it very much the same way. the demons had conjured Brahma's boon. So they did it with full-hearted devotion for her and love for her. And they did this by praying, regarding, respecting, and protecting the divine feminine. So some say she emerged upon a lion with 8 arms, holding a weapon in each hand, which was a gift from each of the gods. This symbolizes her great courage and also symbolizes that they are with her. They are holding space. They're basically giving her their power. Okay. So she's like, hey guys, what's up? What's going on? And they told her what was up and explained the situation. And she said, of course, this must be dealt with right away. So she shows up at the demon's abode. Of course, all the cronies and all the demons are sitting around, and they meet her at the door, and they see this lovely, gorgeous, amazing goddess riding a tiger. And they said, well, hey, the demons, they love beautiful things. Why don't you come on in here and maybe they'll marry you, and they will marry you. So now Durga laughed inside and thought, oh, they're go ahead and underestimate me. This will be fun. And of course they did. They just said, well, the demons like pretty things. Maybe you should come in. And Durga replied, well, there's just this thing. I promised myself long ago that I would never, ever, ever marry anyone that could not defeat me in battle. And of course, the demons thought this was quite funny, and they rolled around on the floor laughing. Who's this cute little woman who thinks she can beat us? The demons started snarking and sending out their armies, servants, generals, and all of their weapons to take her out. One by one, Durga Ma and her various forms began to slay and destroy them all. The demons started realizing that this was no ordinary woman. One goddess would come out of her that was slicing and dicing the demon heads. Another goddess would completely dissolve them. So the demons came out and said, hey, wait a minute. You said that like you were a woman, and we see that there's thousands of goddesses coming out of you. You just showed up as Kali and Ambika and 1,000 other goddesses. And Durga's like, okay, well, let me explain to you. Those aren't actually different goddesses. They're all aspects of me. They're all aspects of you. And these goddesses all came back into Ma Durga. So non-dualism, right? The fight continued until she slayed every single last demon. And they lay at her feet, looking up at her with deep love. They actually realized who she was at that point. She showed them her power. They called out, Ma, Ma, Ma. They recognized her as their mother and realized that they had returned home. They had returned to their mother and ultimately love. Love is the center of everything. Now, this story is interesting on many levels because obviously it warns about what happens when we underestimate feminine power and how eventually things will be brought into balance. Often there are many stories where the goddesses are called to restore balance to humanity. And they might call it the shadow. And they're called out to destroy darkness when it gets to be too much. Now is one of those times. Durga Ma's creation story is how divinity shows up in different forms within you, according to what is needed and what can be understood, that we can make part of that story. We all make up our own story and create our own character. She reminds us that her power is also part of our power. And she reminds us that she's always guiding us with wisdom and discernment. So it's easy to blame the external world for our challenges or the demons out there. Yet when we deeply look within, we recognize our own demons inside. So impulses of greed, anger, violence, unrequited lust, they don't always serve us. Durga's here to protect us from these types of negativity and keep us from allowing ourselves to be consumed by our own negativity. So she literally clears obstacles on our path. She's ready to show us when we're getting in our own way. And she's like a 3D mom. She just slices and dices with her sword and is a wisdom goddess. Her sword literally represents wisdom, given to her by Shiva, by the way. So she literally says, grow up and cut the crap. As we journey down the path of awakening, Durga Ma in every way is the all-powerful, strong, wise, and compassionate, no bullshit mother. Jai Ma. Jai Ma.